Despite smoky skies, a special outdoor concert went ahead tonight. Residents of the southwest neighborhood of Alpine Park were treated to a free performance by the Calgary Philharmonic Orchestra. Twilight Symphony in the Park was held on a stage in the community's Central Park, with hundreds of people enjoying the show in lawn chairs and on blankets. The event was sponsored by the Dream Community Foundation, which creates programs and events to foster connections. Here's what else is happening tonight. Labor peace. Thousands of provincial government workers ratify a collective agreement. Book ban still under revision.
It's kind of stupid, to be fair.
The government names schools that have books deemed sexually inappropriate. And a history of violence. Details revealed about a man who died after shooting at Calgary police.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Sean Frenette.
Good evening. We still don't know if Alberta's schools will be affected by teachers' job action this week, but there is a major development with other provincial employees. AUPE says members voted 63% in favor of a 4-year deal. A mediator's recommendation included a 12% salary increase, but the union will release details at a news conference tomorrow morning. Finance Minister Nate Horner says the agreement balances competitive compensation with long-term stability. AUPE has about 22,000 members in sectors such as law enforcement, social services, natural resources, and administration. But a labor disruption looms over Coaldale tonight. AUPE says the town has served notice to lock out staff at 4 p.m. Saturday. The notice comes just hours after 83% of members voted to strike. And in Lethbridge, there could be disruptions for users of transit access-a-ride services. After nearly 20 days of collective bargaining, the Amalgamated Transit Union has reached an impasse with the city. The union wants better working conditions and wages. Meetings with a mediator are scheduled for later this month. Alberta's education minister has listed which schools were flagged for having library books deemed graphic and sexually inappropriate. A ban the province ordered on certain books was met with swift criticism, leading to a pause yesterday. Terry Fikowski has the latest developments.
28 Calgary schools are on a list of those with texts deemed sexually inappropriate for students. For the first time, the education minister sharing that list on social media site X, saying he has been asked to prove the books exist in those libraries. He says Albertans deserve transparency.
It's kind of stupid, to be fair, because yes, it does contain sexually explicit stuff, but it's stuff that is around us every single day.
4 novels with what's described as pornographic images were brought to the minister's attention in May.
Our concern is that books with highly sexualized content are being given to children without their parents' consent.
But the Calgary Board of Education says there are policies to keep families in the know and adds no single elementary schools carried any of these books.
Our common goals are developmentally appropriate books available to students to ensure that our students are critical thinkers and reflect diverse perspectives.
The list comes amid a blowback to a ministerial order directing school divisions to remove books containing sexually explicit content. As a result, Edmonton's public school division listed 200 books that had to go, including novels from celebrated authors, prompting criticism from educators and librarians.
There isn't a lot of school library professionals in Alberta to do this work. There's a handful in the Edmonton Public School District, a handful in Calgary, and that's all we've been able to really locate in the whole province.
It also sparked ridicule from those in the literary world and accusations of discrimination due to the LGBTQ plus themes of the 4 targeted books.
It just baffles me. So the only thing I can come up with is that this is an ideological battle on the part of the UCP government. It's used as a distraction from their greater scandals.
The minister is revising the order, but back at school, students say banning books will only encourage kids to find the information elsewhere.
If they're banning books, we can obviously just look on the internet and find these banned books anyway.
Terry Fikowski, CTV News, Calgary.
There is no word yet on when the province will reveal the new rules. A woman is now charged after an active shooter incident in Calgary, and we are learning the man who died after shooting at police had a history of violence. Police say they had multiple resources deployed trying to find the man before a shelter-in-place order went out last Thursday for Rosedale and Crescent Heights residents. CTV News has learned the man was 31-year-old Elvis Vukai. He was a mixed martial arts fighter in Calgary more than a decade ago. In 2022, we reported he faced firearms charges after police alleged he and another man had these concealed revolvers while at a Beltline restaurant. Police also said Vukai had ties to organized crime. Last week, police say the man was wanted on a Canada-wide warrant after removing an ankle monitoring bracelet. They say the man fired shots into a Crescent Heights Road home, unsuccessfully trying to break in. Police say the man and a woman who was with him then broke into a nearby residence. The tactical team arrived and the man fired shots at officers. After a standoff where police used tear gas, the man was found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Police say the woman who was with him, 32-year-old Monica Gonzalez, is now charged with break and enter. Sept, the provincial police watchdog, says this incident is out of its scope and Calgary police remain in charge of the ongoing investigation. Police have seized multiple unlawfully possessed guns and ammunition in another investigation. While searching a Midnapore home, officers found two 3D printed .22 caliber handguns, a replica airsoft rifle, multiple 3D printed firearms parts, and hundreds of rounds of ammo. 41-year-old Carl Schuyler faces several charges. The body of a second hiker has been found in southeastern BC, while a third person remains missing and presumed dead. RCMP say they were alerted by a GPS SOS Monday. The three hikers fell over Meechin Creek Falls, west of Kimberley. This is scenic video of the falls shot before this week's tragedy. Searchers found a 68-year-old woman deceased halfway down the falls. Now a 35-year-old woman's body has been found. Efforts continue to find a 35-year-old man. Wildfire smoke turned Calgary's sky yellow today. Our city remains under an air quality warning. The index improved tonight, and Environment Canada says for the general population that means no need to reduce outdoor activities unless you start coughing or have an irritated throat. But strenuous activities should be avoided for high-risk people, including expectant mothers and those with heart and lung conditions.
We have higher levels of hospital admissions, particularly in people who have those pre-existing conditions like heart disease or lung disease. And actually from large studies, we know that we have more deaths when there's longer periods of high amounts of wildfire smoke in the air.
At the Spruce Meadows Masters, air quality is measured every half hour. If parts per million exceed 200, it would be unsafe to continue competition. Today, readings were around 80. A small wildfire is burning in Banff National Park. A backcountry user reported it yesterday afternoon near Wigmore Valley. That area is now closed. Officials say while the fire is out of control, containment efforts are working. The fire is 4.5 hectares in size. Meteorologist Danielle Savonis here with a first look at the forecast. Danielle, a very smoky day, and we are not done with the smoke yet.
No, we're looking at another strong wave of this moving in for specifically tomorrow morning, because tomorrow morning in the forecast we have these stronger winds out of the north, and that will push in some smokier air. We also have it in the upper levels as well, so that could lead to getting up to that high level of that air quality health index, so high risk, and it will be smoky throughout the entire day, but it should start to improve later in the afternoon. Another key thing for tomorrow is because of those winds out of the north, we're only looking at a high of 18 degrees, so a bit of a temperature difference as well. We'll talk about that longer range forecast in just a little bit.
Okay, thank you very much, Danielle. Houston-based ConocoPhillips says it's cutting 25% of its workforce. The company employs 13,000 people worldwide and has its Canadian headquarters in Calgary. ConocoPhillips has operations in Alberta's oil sands and BC, but there's no word yet on how workers there will be affected. The company is holding an employee town hall meeting tomorrow morning. WestJet has announced its largest ever aircraft purchase. It's buying 67 planes from Boeing. The order includes 60 737-10 MAX planes and 7 Dreamliners. A Chestermere senior is dealing with a 70% jump in home insurance premiums. He says his last claim was over a decade ago, and the best advice he received was to shop around. Insurance experts say rates are rising across the board, and last year's extreme weather is to blame. Stephanie Thomas reports.
Alvin Phillips called his stepdaughter over after opening mail from TD Insurance. They were both stunned. The quote to renew coverage for the home was $9,000.
It was a little bit of a shock that it would go up that much.
Wow, yeah, $9,000. What happened?
That's a 70% increase from last year's annual rate at $5,300. Customer service told them there was no mistake.
I haven't been a burden on them. I've had one claim for roof damage, and that was it.
In 20 years of coverage, his most recent claim was back in 2013. But claims across the province and the country are likely behind this rate hike. The Insurance Bureau of Canada says last summer alone, companies paid out a record $8.5 billion for insurable damage due to climate disasters. Alberta makes up half of that, with the Jasper wildfire and last August's hailstorm that hammered the Northeast.
All of that is putting pressure on insurance premiums as we see the cost of these events continue to go up and up and up.
He adds the claims of the few affect the premiums of the many. Climate experts say extreme events are becoming common.
Climate change, global heating is supercharging our weather systems. More heat, more water mean more fuel for storms.
Some brokers advise shopping around.
At the end of the day, this is about coverage and making sure that when the sudden and unexpected happens, you have a package that's going to respond and make sure that you're not in financial dire straits.
That was the advice given to Alvin Phillips.
Yeah, if you don't like it, go somewhere else. That's basically what they're saying.
This much and this much effect all at one time for one household is a lot.
Stephanie Thomas, CTV News, Calgary.
Experts say insurance brokers can scan multiple companies to get you the best offer, and you may get premium reductions by upgrading water and sewage systems and installing a home security system. Shoppers are getting a jolt from the price of coffee. Still to come, how local companies are coping with wholesale hikes and tariffs.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
The cost of coffee keeps climbing in Canada, and Calgary roasters and importers are feeling the grind. Local coffee businesses say they've seen up to a 100% increase in price in the last year. Bad weather has hit large producers such as Brazil and Vietnam. Most large coffee companies in Calgary are avoiding U.S. tariffs by getting beans directly from producers, but the import tax is still causing worldwide uncertainty.
It has to be passed along. When we get hit with price increases of 50 to 100% in a matter of 6 months, this isn't something we can absorb. And it happens so quickly that many roasters still today don't know what to do or when they should put up their prices.
Stats Can says the average consumer price of coffee in Alberta has gone from $6.62 for 340 grams last June to $8.77 this year. Health Canada is warning there's a shortage of the heart medication spironolactone. The drug is supplied by 4 companies nationally. 2 are reporting shortages because of manufacturing disruptions, and a third has a shortage due to increased demand. So the drug is not always available.
Consider that we are using this medication for their heart condition, and there are some alternatives, and sometimes we can use those alternatives very safely, and those are great choices. So we do have some choices we can make for most of our patients, so they are not put at immediate risk. I think that's our biggest concern, is the safety of all of this.
Health Canada says the shortages should resolve by the end of the month. A Calgary high school student now has a unique perspective on Canadian military history. Louise Ogminer is one of 14 Canadian teens to win the Beaverbrook Vimy Prize. It involved a trip to France and Belgium to tour battlefields, monuments, and memorials. Louise is a Royal Canadian Sea Cadet and says it's important her generation understands sacrifices made for our freedom.
It's to make sure that the atrocities, those horrors of the First and Second World War never happen again. We have to remember the past to make the future better, and to keep that peace that the soldiers, the nursing sisters, had worked so hard for and sacrificed so much for.
We have more information on the Beaverbrook Vimy Prize on our website. Some superheroes dropped in to brighten the days of kids at the Alberta Children's Hospital. It's part of an annual event by a window washing company. Half a dozen cleaners rappelled down the side of the hospital, wiping windows, dressed as Superman, Super Mario, and even a princess. The heroes got a lot of attention from young patients and families.
There are some people in this building that are probably not having their best day today, and the joy that this brings is just, yeah. You can't put a price on that.
When I heard this is something that we do, I was like, oh, please. I would love to be a part of this. We just get such great reactions every year, and it's just so wonderful to make something special out of an ordinary day.
So great. This is the 10th time the window cleaning company has donated, or put on actually, their superhero outfits. The smoke has diminished a little bit this evening, but we are not done with smoky skies yet. Coming up next, Danielle Savoni has her full Skywatch forecast.
All right, well, certainly today we could see a lot of smoke hovering above us, but the air quality at the surface improved to get us to the moderate level of that air quality health index for the afternoon today. We're going to bump back up to high again, specifically in the morning, and then we'll start to see an improvement once again. Today we got up to 23 degrees in the city, 27 in Edmonton, and just in the higher teens in Saskatchewan. And that's what we're looking at for a daytime high in Calgary for tomorrow. We're looking at these winds pushing in, and it will get quite gusty tomorrow morning. So strong wind out of the north, gusting up to 40 kilometers per hour. So that's going to cool things down for the day. It's also going to drag in more smoke. We already have smoke that's been pooling in here as well. And that's why we have the air quality warning in place remaining for Lethbridge, over through Pincher Creek, Crow's Nest Pass, over to Brooks, up through Calgary, and towards Edmonton, as you can see here. So this is a look at the smoke that will move its way in because of those strong winds out of the north. You can see these arrows here. That's that strong wind out of the north pushing in the green here, showing you those smokier air. Now, it's going to take some time for it to make its way out, but it should get down to the moderate part of the scale once again. So you can see that scale at the top. That's the air quality health index. So we'll likely go from high, the high risk, so not advised to be outdoors, even if you don't have underlying health conditions when it's at the higher level. But then we get down to moderate. So if you don't have underlying health conditions, you can go outside and enjoy the weather, but it may take maybe all the way up until 10 o'clock tomorrow night for it to make a difference. Then Friday looks pretty good, and we should be at low to moderate. Here's a look at what's going to be happening in that longer term trend here. This ridge of high pressure is going to make its way in, and that's going to shift the wind direction for us. So Friday looks like we'll have some cleaner air. Saturday as well, and then we may see a pushback of smoke on Sunday. Sunday's a little bit of a ways away to be forecasting smoke, so we will keep you posted. 18 degrees is our high for tomorrow in the city. Air quality health index starting around a 9 for the morning hours as we get that push of air from the north, and then likely getting to the moderate level 5 later in the day. And then Friday, we're sticking at that moderate level Saturday as well. By Saturday, you're looking at a daytime high of about 24 degrees.
Thank you very much, Danielle. The world's best farriers are hammering it out in the Blacksmith World Championships at Spruce Meadows. 65 competitors are testing their skills. The championships pits farriers against the clock in events like trimming, shoeing, and forge welding. On Sunday, the winner will get $75,000. The competition isn't just about strength, but also precision, artistry, and keeping a centuries-old craft alive.
You've never seen it before, and you see a horse getting shod with a straight piece of steel. They'll manipulate it, they'll section it, they'll bend it, they'll put the holes in it. Come see, come smell it, come listen to it, come smell it. It's tradition. It's been going on for 1,000 years. It's been going on a long time. The
championships are being held behind the Equiplex at Spruce Meadows. This year's Calgary Health Foundation Hospital Home Lottery Grand Prize offers many comforts of home just outside city limits. The $3.3 million show home by Crystal Creek Homes covers 5,200 square feet and includes 4 beds and 6 baths. It also has a landscape backyard and a basement games area. The winner also gets $100,000. The foundation is raising money to build a women's cardiovascular health clinic.
54% of heart attacks in women go unrecognized, so heart attacks show up differently in women, and it's really important that we up our level on clinical care. This would be a state-of-the-art women's cardiovascular healthcare clinic that's really going to put Calgary at the forefront of clinical care.
You can get tickets at calgaryhospitalhomelottery.com. He's small in stature, but big on helping his community. Coming up, a young soccer player is shooting for a major prize. A young Calgary soccer player hopes to become the Colossal Youth Athlete of the Year. The award is not just about soccer, but also about being a good person and helping your community. Glenn Campbell has more on what drives this young athlete.
Oliver Newman started playing soccer when he was just 3 years old, and it's been a tough time getting him off the pitch ever since. The 8, soon-to-be 9-year-old, has some big aspirations.
I want to keep playing until I'm really old, and I want to go pro for a big club. I want to play for Real Madrid, or Barcelona.
Oliver's a forward. His favorite thing to do is score goals. He knows it's going to take a lot of hard work to realize his dream.
To practice every day, discipline and dedication, and don't eat junk food.
Another thing Oliver's dedicated to is helping people. That's why he entered the Colossal Youth Athlete of the Year competition. It's a nationwide campaign raising funds and awareness for the Why Not Foundation and the V Foundation. Oliver's been raising money for cancer research.
I'm very proud of him, and not only because of soccer, because he's also raising money for cancer. And we've been trying to help save people. Cancer has decimated a lot of people, not only in my family, but a lot of friends. So that's why we're doing this.
Right now, Oliver's second in his group. If he wins, he advances to the quarterfinals. The eventual winner will be featured in a 3-brand ad in Sports Illustrated and will take home $25,000.
It would mean a lot of stuff because I would use it to help play for my soccer, help my family, and erase cancer.
Glenn Campbell, CTV Sports, Calgary.
To vote for Oliver, go to ctvnews.ca/Calgary for a link to the competition website. Voting for this round wraps up tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get some better soccer playing weather and clearer skies in the days ahead. Thanks for joining us. Have a good night.